Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can now.
Okay.
There was three of you.
Yeah,
And
I don't know. This is my first time using this app.
oh, it's Google. So honestly, I love Google. All right. So how are you doing today?
Hey girl, tired. Worked all day, tired. I'm ready to go lay down for a few after this.
No, no, I understand. You were just like, oh, something pop up. I was like, girl, I know. I
I
know.
know.
Especially in the beginning, I was just like, I hope she don't feel like I don't like. I'm sure she looked like a busy lady. I was like,
I do be busy, child, but I was like, I said I was going to do this. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do
there's always something to do.
it. It is. It is. Because
There
you're in
is
Florida. What
always
part of
something
Florida
to
are you
do.
in? Are you in Miami?
Yeah, no, not Miami, Miami. I'm in like the Fort Lauderdale area.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm not that far down, but I'm in a really solid place because it's like not it's close enough to all the fun, but none of the like Miami traffic. I don't know if you've
Yes.
been to Miami.
It's too much.
Yeah, yeah. And there's a lot of foolishness, a lot of craziness over there. Posted for quite a while and stuff. And I had talked to Trey and he was just like, oh, I love her and stuff. And yeah, he said great things about you. And that's actually what started me following you, Trey telling me
I
about
love
you.
that. That's my god brother. Yes.
Yeah, you guys are in like the same spiritual house, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just like, ah, it's so great to see so many people like getting into voodoo and understanding it more, how popular it's gotten. Like, when I was growing up, man,
I know.
talking about voodoo, we couldn't even say it. No, man.
It's still sort of like that. People still be having skepticisms around it, but I love it. It's really elevated my life, elevated my spiritual practice, allowed me to help and serve more, in the community with, the gifts that I have. So I love it.
Okay. That's
But I'm sort of kind of more private about mine. I'm not like one of those people who put out everything, It's more of my personal practice that I'm kind of. And then I was, when you go through like initiation, it kind of shifts your life around. So I was going through like this weird, for the little while I was just doing everything in my life. So it's just like, So I'm starting to, get my balance back. And that's why I'm kind of like, okay, well, now I feel a little bit more comfortable to speak about it.
Yeah, of course. And honestly, this is necessarily a voodoo interview. I I live for voodoo. It's been pretty much my whole life. I mean, my business,
Yes.
my like everything for me is voodoo. But I kind of wanted to just talk about you as a practitioner. And
Okay.
if voodoo is a part of it, then yeah, I'd love to hear about that, your input and everything. But you've like you kind of strike a chord with people, like your attitude and then like your persona and everything, and like you are vibes, and so it's
Period.
yeah, it's fun to just like watch you. And I think you were one of the first people I saw to do like the celebrity readings and stuff, and that's a very kind of interesting thing that I never thought of. Like, I wouldn't even doing. And then I see you guys doing it. I was like, that's a really, really good approachable way to like get people to look at the practice, to even think about it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It brings them in because it's pop culture. So everything that's current is trendy. People want to talk about that stuff. And it does give it a twist with adding that spirituality, you know, piece to it. So it's dope. I love it. I'm here for it.
I that's I when it, the way it's like, it's sometimes being like raised in this, things can feel very they can feel a little religious,
Oh
And
yeah.
so it's nice to see some of the ways that other people can take maybe a piece of it and like reveal a new aspect of what we didn't think of. But
Yes.
I'm just saying that because I'm young. I know a lot of the older generation may not agree with me.
Right. You know it. How old are you, Carla?
Oh yeah, yeah, I'm 23.
What? Oh my God. Oh
Oh,
my
do I look
God, you
older?
just lit. No, you just lit. Like I knew you was like young. I just knew you was like super full of life. So you lit. I love that. And I
Yeah,
love how you're like teaching like the newer, generation, and it's like being embraced and you just putting it out there. I love that. I love that too. So kudos to you.
Oh yeah, thanks. I think a lot of people suspect that I'm older than I am. Like obviously I look young,
You're
but
very wise. You're very wise.
thank you, thank you. I'm just trying to, I feel like most of the time when I'm teaching or talking or anything, I'm trying to just give Vodou the way I wish I would have gotten it, because I got it in a very traditional way. And, it turns a lot of people off. Not necessarily the Vodou, but like the attitude of older people, yeah. You're-
Oh, I know, girl. I just smile about my business.
yeah.
Yeah, child. Yeah, I know. Whew.
I mean, you made it though. So up until this point, you've kind of been just vibes with Mama Red. Tell me about your spiritual journey a little bit. Tell me how you kind of came up with this persona to put on the internet. I've always been curious about that.
Okay. So I come from a background of the beauty industry. I was a celebrity nail tech for about 12 years. I've done Cardi B's nails. I've done Corin Hawthorne nails. I've done a couple of people nails, and I had a salon here, and it was a lot of my clients who I would just give information to over the course of me doing their nails. And of course, that's a spiritual thing. I have to touch your hand, and we're talking and we're looking at each other's eyes and blah, blah, blah. So I would give them some type of information like, girl, you should leave that man. He ain't no good or whatever. I'll tell them information, and they'll come back on their next nail visit and they'll say, I did what you told me and it worked out. Oh my God. Or I'll tell them, put this herb with this herb and make a bath, or put this powder on your sheets and he'll do this and he'll do that. So it was actually really working out for them. And my good friend brought me a tarot deck, and she was like, you have a lot of talents, a lot of skills. You should try to learn tarot. So I taught myself tarot. I grew up seeing my grandmother. She used playing cards. So I'm familiar with the cards. Yeah, old school. So I studied tarot, taught myself tarot. Then I started bringing the deck in. And then I had a couple of clients who would come after they get their nails done. They'll be like, well, we want to get a reading read. And, da-da-da-da. So we started doing the readings, and it was just like on point. And they would come, and they'll even come after hours to get their personal readings done. So the name Mama Red, because my nickname is Red, I think of Mama Red as being the big mama spirit within me, the older ancestral voices of the mothers who come out and tell you what it is and what is not. No holds barred, no sugarcoating. It's just like, that's the spirit of Big Mama. So I take on the Big Mama Red aspect in that persona, if that makes sense.
Okay.
It's like a term of endearment, but it's more so down to earth, where it's kind of like, she's talking to me like she could be my auntie, or she's talking like she could be my grandma, my sister. So it's a familiar spirit.
Okay. Yeah, I see that. I was thinking when you said it was like auntie vibes.
Yes.
But, no, but that's great. Honestly, that is so funny though. The fact that you started with nails and you just started telling people stuff, and eventually I feel like that's a really cool transition. I feel like I would have expected, like, it's not a surprise that you were doing some nails, like, or hair or something like that.
Yeah.
Because you're so personable. Honestly, I can see
thank
people
you.
up to you like that.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, like, I used to be so drained. I didn't understand why I was so drained, because I was actually doing readings while I was doing nails. And it came to a part where I just was like, I can't do this anymore. I'm tired all the time. I need something. Oh my God. And it was just like a breakaway moment where I had to transform from my nails and my beauty industry to being fully in my spiritual walk, and just trusting God and my Lord and spirit guides to just guide me through that time, because that was scary for me. Like, I don't even do nails anymore. I'm straight in my spiritual entrepreneurship now. So
yeah, honestly, that seems to be going well. you have like a deck, I believe, that you came out with.
No, not my deck. That's my godmother's, but I do promote it. Hers Leaf Waiter's deck. So,
Ah, okay, okay, okay.
mhm.
Oh, that's again another way that Vodou is kind of like going through a transition now, trying to find new things that are being incorporated into the practice.
Absolutely.
And you use the deck yourself. How you been liking it?
I like the deck. It's really straightforward. Fueda doesn't really play when it comes to love like that. So she's telling it like it is in that deck, and I love it. It's sweet and sour. It gives what it's supposed to give.
Yeah, yeah. And
It's
for you,
quality.
what was that?
It's a quality deck.
Okay. No, I've heard other people use it and stuff. So you're not the first person to tell me about it. But for you personally, it's cool seeing the way that people incorporate different tools. Do you know what I mean? Because
Absolutely.
it might have been maybe playing cards, but then tarot, and then now this deck. And I love seeing the people who do bones. Oh God,
I
I love.
have bones. I have not activated mine yet. I have a set of bones that I've been putting together for a while, but I haven't gotten all the way into it.
I love that. I love that shit. I don't know what it is about bones.
That's the old school stuff, man. That's real.
If it's not the bones, I also love seeing the leaves and stuff because, like,
Oh,
the
the tea
tea leaves
leaves.
and whatnot.
Yes.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I couldn't read the leaf to save my life.
Really?
Yes, because it's like, but people think that's weird because I learned readings over cards and with candles and stuff. So
Yes.
sometimes, I would tell somebody like, "Yo, just look into the flame."
Yeah, read the candle flame. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's divination too.
yeah, of course. But then, like, when I tell them, like, leaves don't really work for me, that I've heard people be like, "How you gonna look into a flame and not leaves?"
Oh wow. People say the same thing about tarot. Some people don't care too much for tarot either. But it's a tool and I can't get drained out. I have to use a medium tool. I can of course sit without my cards and just that candle and that glass of water and read you. But that'd be a lot on my spirit sometimes. I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that, child.
I like, spirituality. It's all like this huge science that we don't really understand. So why this drains one person and this makes this person, just come alive. And the card
Yes.
is, I don't know how many years it's gonna take us to like figure it out, but we'll probably be ancestors by then.
Right.
I'm excited to see it. I'm excited to see where things continue going. So for you right now, I know you really wanted to keep your Vodou practice a little bit more private and stuff. And so answer as much as you want or don't. But
Okay.
for you, what does your spiritual practice look like for you? Because I know from a work standpoint, I have an idea of your services and everything, but just in your personal life, what does it mean to you? And what does that look like for you?
Well, it's a lifestyle for me. Like, um, it's something that I take a lot of respect and pride in, serving my ancestors, making sure I'm doing what I need to do, by the Most High, and with my Lawad. So it's every day is hoodoo voodoo for me. So I came up off of hoodoo, like the Gullah Geechee culture. I'm from Virginia, so we had a lot of cultures and aspects that we was doing it before we even knew what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? Certain superstitions that we would honor. A lot of these practices are still very prevalent for me in my day-to-day life. And it actually helps me to serve my clients better because I do have, my whole spiritual business now. So things that I've been through and things that I download because I'm a medium as well. So sometimes I'll just sit at my altar and just talk to my ancestors and I'll get downloads for potions or tinctures or certain herbs or certain things they want me to incorporate in my business. So it's like it's an everyday thing for me. I find that I'm seeking more balance now, because sometimes it can kind of take over your life, girl.
Mhm.
Oh gosh, so it's like I have to find balance, and I do pray for balance because it can kind of be a lot on you um to have such a responsibility um
Oh yeah.
with spirituality. Yeah.
Mm. Ooh, you're right. You're right about that. Because so it's yes, responsibility is a big thing that a lot of people don't really understand or expect. Because
Yes.
it's so easy to watch you on Instagram and watch you talk and watch you do this, but nobody really knows how much it took to get to this point and what you have to do on a daily basis to maintain things. So right now,
Yes.
I mean, I feel like balance. This is a common theme for a lot of practitioners. I hear it a lot. We all try and we all are trying to find balance in some ways. It's
Mm-hmm.
well, I'm
Because
I'm glad.
we dedicate our lives to this. This isn't just something that we, for those who are in that realm, because everyone doesn't practice. Some people just serve, or some people just do certain things. So it's like different roles, but it can really take over. I already told my spirits, like, I want a family. I want a man. I want a house. I want my own aspirations on top of doing things that I know I'm supposed to be doing according to my calling. So
Oh no, I feel you. I feel you. It's it's relationships. Wow. And relationships and spirituality, they're hit or miss.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm lucky. I recently got engaged. So yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Oh, that's so beautiful.
I appreciate the reaction. I told somebody and they're like, well, what'd you put on him? I was like, girl,
Oh, damn. See, yeah, that's what it, yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
that's what I put him on him. Okay.
Damn, put it on the floor. Oh my God.
People are always making assumptions about practitioners, no matter
Yes, that's
what you
absolutely right. No matter what you do.
you can just be
That's why
wild.
I that's why I try not to tell too much of my private life. You know what I'm saying? Because they be thinking that you have to do magic on somebody, or you have to do blah 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 to get something. No, I'm just a good person. No, I'm blessed. No, I have certain things on my life. Like, no, I don't have to do all of that.
And based on what you've been saying here, it sounds like it's pretty hard to get to where you are. It sounds like you're a businesswoman. You're making it happen. But it's a little hard to wrap your head around someone just being an entrepreneur, like like God forbid we just learn our craft and perfect it.
I'm telling you, but it's a journey because I'm still a baby in a lot of aspects. I still have my elders and certain individuals that I look up to in my spiritual house and things like that. So, we never know it all. Maybe a lot of portion because being born into it is like so much different than like coming in as initiate or something.
I mean, yes, it's true. I know a good amount, and throughout my journeys, I've been able to learn more.
Yeah.
But sometimes, I look at my mom, who's been doing this for decades, for the majority of her life, and
Yes.
sometimes she'll be doing insane things, and I feel like a baby again, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And she'll say to me like, "Yo, I don't know everything." So, like, yeah, she'll say to me like, "Yo, I'm still learning stuff." There's
Yeah.
and in this new world coming from Haiti and then living in America, sometimes it's people like you actually that I find on Instagram or social media, and I'm like, "Hey, mom, look at this. Look at what they're
Oh
doing,"
wow.
and then
Yeah.
it kind of comes full circle because she just like, "Oh, snap. We don't do this in Haiti. Traditionally we don't do this." And so she actually kind of learns from you guys sometimes. Well, I'm
Oh,
from her, and it's all coming full circle.
I love that. I love that. It's so many different generations of it, but um, I love that. That's beautiful. That's a good way that you put that. I never thought of it like that before.
You'd be surprised. I have Instagram is a new world, and TikTok, new world for that lady.
Oh yeah, TikTok for sure. Everybody knows everything on TikTok, so it's like everybody's a spiritualist. Blah blah blah.
Yes. Well, I mean, it's good you're taking the time to learn though, because some people don't. Some people like to jump in. It's like you were saying, you wanted to take your time. A lot of people do not, and if may or may not be the best choice for them. You know what I mean? So,
Right.
so right now, like while you're still kind of in your baby stages of your new practice and everything, what do you think you're looking forward to, maybe?
I'm looking forward to doing maybe my own dances, maybe down the line, or private dances, or I'm not necessarily looking forward to having kids yet because I know that's a big responsibility. Um, I'm looking forward to learning more about my practice and more about my craft. But what I know so far, it's just been really elevating my life. And so many people focus on the negatives of voodoo. Like it's like a scary thing, like, oh, like they kill babies or they eat blood or some weird shit. You don't even know, but this is ancient practices. And I really find a lot of enlightenment and gratitude in doing what I'm doing as far as my voodoo walk goes, spirituality, period. So I love it here. I'm looking forward to doing more in the community with the gifts that I have, building more community.
Oh, that's great. That's awesome. I am. What is a team sport? It's just hard to find the right team to play for, I think, when it comes to spiritual houses. So
Oh yes.
having one that nurtures you, that elevates you, that supports you, very important all around. All around. It can make or break how much somebody wants or if they have anything to look forward to.
Because I've heard some pretty bad things about, listen, the spiritual houses, child. Oh Lord, I've heard some things, honey, but I'm just glad that I'm under the house that I'm under and my people, they are amazing. So I'm just thankful for that because it can get spooky out here with these spiritual houses, honey. And
Yeah. Yeah.
hopping from house to house and
Mhm.
not being able to learn in the house or whatever that's about. It's just like,
Yeah, yeah. It's let's just say it's a little ghetto.
oh, it's ghetto. It's real ghetto. And I can say that will turn off certain people because I know other like Americans who them got involved or initiated into certain houses. They don't know how to speak Creole. They don't know how to, talk or interpret or a lot of communication barriers, and they just had a bad experience. Like it was super bad, and they just, they down talk things bad about it.
What would your as someone who's coming in from the outside, you're not fluent in Creole, right?
No, but I'm learning. I'm learning some stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's and it's a process. I mean, a lot of people I teach are African Americans and stuff, so
Yes.
they have that they need to learn. But it's more your willingness than anything. But
Mhm.
as someone with that unique perspective, like what would you kind of give as a word of wisdom to those newbies and stuff who you don't want them to get a bad experience and stuff? What would you tell them if they're thinking about joining?
Well, if you're thinking about joining, I would say your godparents are really influential in your walk. So if you don't have a good relationship with your godparent, or if you're not able to it depends on what type of godparent that you have, sometimes will mold your situation or your experience in a spiritual house. So I would say be very careful with having or picking or you know before you get initiated, whatever your godparents is, try to have a good relationship with them, because they can kind of help you or harm you in the whole thing. So, also depend on your spirit, study the law as much as you can, whatever information that you can get. Keep your faith in your law because at the end of the day, once you get the tools that you need, as long as you have your spirits, you okay. I feel like you're okay. They'll still walk with you. They'll still be with you.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. That's something I've noticed, regardless of Haitian or African American or whatever, trying to
Yeah.
get to the practice. If it's meant for you, even if you did have a bad experience, people still get to where they need to get to.
Yeah, they do.
That it might take some time, so use your discernment, but eventually I feel like the people who are meant for this path, it's hard to keep them out. Something's a door's gonna open.
That's right. That's
Mm.
right. I love that. Is
So
that La Sarine behind you? That's a really pretty statue. It's gorgeous.
yeah, we got her little dark skin. It's hard to find sometimes, but
Yes, it is. Oh, she's gorgeous. That glitter, is that like a some type of glitter?
no, it's like here, I'll give
Oh,
you
it's like a
okay.
sequence. Oh, it's
Yeah, so
gorgeous.
her gown is like sequins and she has little things. And we dolled her up a little bit, but she needs a new fit, not gonna lie. She needs new jewelry.
I've never seen one with that shiny sequins on it. It's really dope.
They're hard to find, It's
Yeah.
one thing I'm really happy about is the fact that, we're in South Florida and
Yes.
we're right by the port of Miami. So many of the imports are gonna pass through here, especially when it comes to, all of the Afro traditions.
Yeah.
I'm probably within 30 minutes to an hour to three of the major distributors of like the South the southern United States and like all
Oh
around the eastern
wow.
coast. Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I love that because Florida is basically some of the only places that I can get authentic voodoo supplies. Like, you
Mhm.
don't really have that, because it's like EFI is so prevalent up in these areas. So, getting real authentic, I have to go to Florida, child.
I
I have to
know.
go to Florida.
I'm trying to get to a point where we can make things a little bit more accessible, but it's hard because we sell out fast.
I know.
We sell out fast, man. And then it takes time to get things over from Haiti.
Oh
And then,
yeah.
like, some things we source ourselves, other things there are some distributors to get from. But once we post it or we send out that mass email to, the mailing list or something, I think
Oh.
within 1 or 2 weeks, it's like done. And then it can take 2 months or so to get something else from
Oh
whoever we
wow.
do. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, because of the supply and demand. And
And the supply chain in Haiti, Haiti's hard. Haiti's hard.
they be having some stuff going on sometimes too that messes
Yeah.
up the shipments.
Mhm. We were just supposed to get something. Literally, our guy down there, my cousin, he packed up a bunch of stuff for us. Boxes were ready to go. I'm ready to send the money so that we
Yeah.
could get them over. And then the flood happens, and
Oh
then
yes.
the little earthquake thing. So they're like, all exports are postponed indefinitely, and that could mean a week. It could mean a month. It could mean
Yeah.
a year.
And that flood was bad too. Certain
Yeah.
places really got hit hard.
But I encourage you to keep doing it. Try and buy. Please try to buy from Haitians, please, please, please,
Oh
because a
yeah.
lot of the time it's Haitians that make the products, then it ends up in somebody else's hand, or like we're not really keeping the money. We're not having the money go back to Haitians, and sometimes
Mm.
people will get goods from like Mexico or the DR, and
Yes.
you know, and I'm all for or supporting businesses, but so many of the things people are getting for Vodou have nothing to do with like actual Haitian Vodou.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
It's it's not everywhere, like it's if from you, your godmother, I believe Three Huda Sisters, right? She is she's an accurate practitioner, and
Mhm.
she'll probably tell you what is and what isn't. But for people who
Yes.
don't know, like
Yeah, they don't know.
I've seen other people try and brand something as Haitian Vodou or something, and it's not.
Mhm. I can believe that. I can believe that. I didn't think about it that way either. This is eye opening for me too, honey. I'm getting a good eye opener here tonight.
Yeah, it's you know how it is with business, like China ripping off American goods. Everybody,
Oh yeah.
it's a normal thing. But which is why we try and only stock things that have to do with like Haitians or with if they're specific to Haitians, if
That's
I'll
smart.
say it, I'll be like, hey, this is from Haiti. This is one of our Haitian stuff and whatever. But if it has nothing to do with Haitian Vodou or like Haitians and stuff, I was just like, I'm obviously not gonna say that. I was just like,
You are funny.
I'm just like, you know, I'm Haitian, right? You know, my people are from it. I was born there. Like, I'm not.
Yes,
He's living, bro. Like,
facts.
like I'm not dumb, but okay. I'm gonna. If there's a customer for everybody.
Yes, yes. And sometimes some people be overcharging for stuff too. Some of that stuff don't even be costing that much. I understand. I support the hustle, but some people be taxing, girl.
Yeah, it's it's for at market rate because like you don't want to undercut
Yeah.
yourself from what other people is charging, but at the same time, it's sometimes be like, oof, this is a much, and then they don't actually like break. Oof, because I've seen Haitians sell things in Haiti for maybe a scarf or something for a few dollars.
Oh, okay.
And then the scarves we use for ceremony. Like I've seen people
Yes,
charge like $2-3 or something for it in Haiti. Then they come back and sell it in America for like $10 and $15.
absolutely, absolutely.
Sometimes even more. And I'm just like, oh goodness. I'm like, it's all about the hustle. It is.
Yes,
But
it
then
is.
but then I gotta ask myself, like, you could have paid that little Haitian person like $3 or $4. You
Yeah.
could have put a little some extra there, you know?
Yes.
And
For
then
authentic, it's authentic too, you know, because it's like you said, it's some rip off stuff out here too. You can get ripped off, child.
you know, but it's that's capitalism for you. It's
For sure.
we're just making it work. We're just making it work. So I know you got your trip. I'm not gonna keep you too long, but what do you have a title aside from your, Mama Red? Do you think you have maybe a title that you want to go by spiritually? Because I know some people they do.
Of course I am a priestess, I'm a Wambo, but I just like the title, just a spiritual advisor. I like the title trusted spiritual advisor because I actually give a lot of advice to a lot of people, even local city council members, all the way down to the everyday moms and even pastors. So I'm just I just
Yeah.
say spiritual advisor, Um, and
Mhm.
whatever else they need, of course they need like, because I do other things like my spiritual work. I do perform a lot of spiritual products that really help people out. So I just go by spiritual advisor, just Big Mama Red.
Okay. And when it comes to your spiritual work and products, what do you think your favorite service or product is for your clientele?
Oh gosh. I I like making products, and I love reading.
Mhm.
So some of my products that are really good products are like my Jezebel oils, my spiritual baths be popping, like the veins they popping.
I,
They
I,
are like once I keep learning and like my spirits keep giving me stuff, it's just like, oh, you took that bath and that happened? No way, but it's really happening for people. So products, I just love to do products, and with me having like my background in like beauty, so I like a lot of love products and stuff that smells good and things like that. So products and readings for sure.
yeah. As a Haitian, like growing up in America, it was so gratifying to hear you say that bang, that be popping.
That's right, girl. I know a little lingo. I don't know too much, but I be working what I got. That's it.
You got a little English to it. Yeah, you'll get to the Creole eventually.
I feel like it. I feel like it. I just know little bits and pieces, but you got to push yourself.
Right. So I loved it. I loved it. I love talking to you. I love getting to know you a little bit. It's
Yes.
great to hear some of your background with like your grandma, the Gullah Geechee, and then now incorporating some of your Vodou learning. I think that's the best part of ATR. It we There was a kind of separation that unnecessarily, I think, kept a lot of us like, I don't know, in competition. Like when I was and it's and there's still competition. Like business wise, there's still competition
Oh, for
and stuff.
sure. It's steep too, girl. I just be out the way. I just mind my business and stay out the
Yeah,
way.
I stay in my lane as well. I stay in my lane.
That's it. I wish I had my bell because you might be have my little bell to ring my bell. Ring the bell, sis. Period. Because,
I,
child.
I was like, girl, I'm gonna guide you. Of course I have the bell. But I just mean like there was this sometimes there's a sense that I get, and it still exists, of course, of like Lukumi, Santeria, 21
Oh,
Division,
yes.
Voodoo. It's
Ifa,
like
yes.
this kind of comparison that and this competition, like which practice is kind of like better per se.
Yes.
And people like you, new practitioners and stuff, and new influences, it getting exposed to other practices, I feel like has made me a better voodoo practitioner. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's given me like
I'm new to the
mhm,
voodoo, but I've been practicing for a while. Just hoodoo,
yeah,
just straight hoodoo, just straight
yeah,
works, just straight my spiritual stuff. But when it comes to actually being like initiated, because some people aren't necessarily through initiation, so it is a competition. Like, oh, because I had to get one of my friends together real quick because I guess he had a negative experience with like some spiritualists that were voodoo practitioners, and he kind of said, well, you guys you just started rambling off and stuff, but I felt like it was coming from a place that he got hurt. So I kind of called him out, like, hey, we're not all like this, like, how dare you just put this blanket? And he kind of saw his faults, but you have to kind of check them sometimes too, because some people just don't know; they just be rumbling off at the mouth.
and even though social media has brought a lot of unnecessary stuff to a lot of the practices and some nonsense, it's still, I think, like they're still good there though, because a lot of people that I meet, I never would have met them. I never would have been able to help them without it. I never
Yes.
insight that I do without it. Like a lot of the exposure might be good for the practice in some ways, in helping us get a sense of what it is and how we can do more with it, for sure.
Yes, and I think a lot of people want to know ancient ancestral practices, regardless of what it is. You know what I'm saying? Dealing
Yeah,
with their ancestors, dealing with how do
yeah,
I, work past certain things, or just getting out of the religious constraints that we all were. Because I grew up in the church, and I'm still into God. I still read my Bible, but people can't tell me that my ancestors are evil. Like, people are wanting to know consciousness, and it's not about a bunch of how do I hurt somebody, or how do I, the negative sides of it. But because this voodoo is very healing. Voodoo is it can be very beautiful. So I do want to show that side a little bit more as much as I can, to people who are interested in knowing, because there are a lot of people who just want to know, hey, what's another way for me out here? What is something that's
yeah,
ancestral that I can jump into and feel at home? So
yeah, yeah. Well, I am glad all in all that you did find your home with your godmother. You found your family, and it's helped you. I love stories like that. It's because sometimes to be your own Haitian, ready to knock down the tradition. So
girl.
you can't stop it. You just work around it.
Yeah.
But all in all, I like where the practice is going, and thank you so much, Mama Red, for coming on. Thank
Thanks for
you.
having me. I know it's been a while. I
No,
know it's been a while.
honestly, take your time. I like to think that things are gonna happen when they need to, when they're right. As long as the fact that you were in the best place for it at the time, even with you being busy, I may have never gotten this kind of conversation out of you before. It may not have
Right.
the same ring. So I hope that this
Right.
can contribute some to some people's lives. So
I hope so too.